Are you okay with answering some questions for the video?
Yeah.
So, with we started with like just some basic glute kind of base building exercises. We're kind of progressing into more complicated stuff. Like, what's the long term and like what's the benefits of like how does working on like a clamshell and doing like these like side to side strides with a band benefit like overall stability and mobility for a runner?
So we're working on getting you comfortable with activating through those hips and those glutes, so that you don't have to rely so much on the quads and the hamstrings as you're running.
Okay.
Because that's usually what we see leads to a lot of the hamstring problems or the lower back problems that we have with people, is that they're runners are very quad dominant. So we're trying to get you to rely more on the glutes and the hips rather than those quads, so that we can limit some of those aches and pains that come along with the long runs, and overall help you perform better.
Right.
So we're just trying to get you functioning, your muscles functioning properly, so that when you're running and you're doing the things that you do in your day-to-day, that you can limit some of the deficiencies, some of the aches and pains that come with that.
And now that we're activating all that, how long will I keep hurting in muscles I didn't realize I had during my run?
Before
that starts going away.
It'll go away here in a couple weeks. So the more with the glute activation and stuff like that, the more you activate it now, it's gonna be sore because you haven't activated it in a long time. Just like with anything else, if you were to go and lift super heavy today, you'd be super sore tomorrow because you haven't lifted super heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of basically the more you do it, eventually your body will adapt and adjust to it, and that pain will cease. So I say for you here in maybe a week or two, you'll be able to run efficiently and not feel that soreness as much.
Ideally, like everybody's coming in or going, depending on where they live, going to see somebody who specializes and kind of does the work y'all do. But for people who don't have access but want to start, make sure, what are some self checks at home people can do? How do you know if your glutes are activating?
That's a good question.
What should you feel when you're out running to know that right now I can feel, because of the work that we've been doing, I feel a little more soreness, and I feel a little more whatever. Maybe soreness isn't the right word, but I feel it more when I'm running.
You feel more of that activation when you're running. Yep.
Yeah, but if I'm just at home, how do I know if my glutes are activating or if they're not?
You'll feel it. So you'll feel, it's like a tightness sensation, or for lack of better terms, I'll give you the achiness. You'll feel the activation of those glutes, and we have exercises that we try to give people to do at home, like the clamshells, the glute bridges, cross squats, those type of things, so that you can get familiar with what that activation feels like.
Yeah.
And when you do those exercises, you'll know exactly what that feeling is like. You'll feel it through the hips, you'll feel it through the glutes, you'll just feel them kind of working and turning on a little bit.
Assuming you're doing the clamshells and stuff correctly.
Assuming you're doing them correctly, yeah. So yeah, I think it's one of those things you'll feel you'll know when you're activating through, but we do introduce, so if it's somebody that can't make it in or doesn't have, we try to introduce those exercises just so they can get familiar with that feeling, so that when they're running, they know that that's what that's coming from. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And I guess the other question, and as a distance runner, I'm super guilty of this. As a sprinter, you probably had a pretty long, extensive warm up before you started racing or even training. As distance athletes, we tend to say, well, the first few miles are going to be the warm up, right? But what would be in order to make sure those glutes start firing and activating during a run, what would you recommend doing in the minutes preceding a long run or a midweek workout to cue those glutes to activate the fire?
So some resistance band work. So like even if you take a band and do those clamshells or those fire hydrants, things like that, that typically gets those glutes firing. So that prior to your race, they already are kind of awake and already ready to go. We also, there's like drills you can do. So like ace skips is a good one just to get the mobility going. What you're doing right now, this hip flexor stretch is a good one. And even if you don't have a band wherever the competition is, you can still get in that same position. That stretch. Yep, and still push those hips out. Maybe a frog stretch. Just kind of working on that mobility and that activation through those hips before the run.
Yeah.
Because I also can agree, like 90%, as a sprinter, we do have the long, elaborate warm-up, but 90% of that is running.
Yeah.
So I can agree that the first 2 miles of your run is considered part of your warm-up. But I would say to add those activations in prior to. So like some band work, some mobility, hip stretching, the lateral band walks is a good one too.